Yeah, just a great game by the Alabama defense tonight. 3.37 yards per play. And Bama wasn't great. Offensively, we can talk about it. Um, they weren't very good off sharp offensively tonight. Uh, like I said, Mississippi State outgained them. Bryce Young, kind of a pedestrian night, 21 for 35, 249, 2 touchdowns. But he did the important thing, which was once it was clear Alabama could kind of roll. He didn't turn the ball over, which he doesn't do because he's Bryce Young, except for that one weird game against whoever. They didn't run the ball particularly well tonight out of the 3 running backs. Gibbs, 10 carries for 37 yards. McClellan, 6 carries for 9 yards. Wardell Williams, 6 carries for 7 yards. Do that math, that's 53 yards on 22 carries. So we're just above 2 yards a carry. That's got to improve. All in all, it's weird because on one side of the ball, it looked like a team ready to come out and with their hair on fire after last week. On the other side of the ball, on offense, it was just kind of, they were fine. Like they didn't have to do a whole heck of a lot. It's like you watch an NFL team and they're playing like the Bears. They didn't have to do a whole heck of a lot offensively, but still, like you'd like to see more. And to give credit, Zach Arnett and Mississippi State have an outstanding defense. Someone hire him, please. He's very good at his job in Starkville. So good for them. We'll see where life takes him next. But for tonight, he did a good job against Alabama. But Alabama gets the win 30-6. Ja'Cory Brooks had 3 catches, 74 yards. Jermaine Burton, 2 catches for 40 yards. Somebody already mentioned in our comments, Tyler Harrell finally had a catch. Cameron Latu, after a big game last week, only 1 catch tonight. Isaiah Bond, 1 catch. Trayshawn Holden. So all around, Bryce got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people got a reception tonight on 35 passes and 21 completions. So 7.1 yards per completion. Not too shabby at all. Not a lot to complain about tonight. On defense. They did what they're supposed to do. I think Bill's okay. Going from Dayball, who I didn't think was all that great, but clearly is. I mean, he's doing a wonderful job for the Giants. They're doing a wonderful job with the Bills. Sark, you had Kiffin. Bill O'Brien isn't those guys, but I think he's done a fine job. I think tonight was just kind of watching the game. Tonight just kind of felt especially after last week. Tonight just kind of felt like they felt flat. Which after the game in Knoxville last week is kind of understandable. The thing Bill O'Brien struggles with is you look at all these guys that are great offensive minds, whether it be in the NFL, McVay, Shanahan, whatever. I'm talking a lot of NFL. I hate doing that. Or college, like Lincoln Riley. What they do is they scheme an awesome run game where it doesn't matter who the running back is. It doesn't matter what the defense is doing. They're able to navigate and get yards where you're like, how did you look at the end of the game? You look at the end of the game and you go, where did USC rush for 150 yards on 32 attempts? Like, how did that happen? Bill O'Brien isn't that good at scheming a run game. He just isn't. I think he's fine. Like, I don't think he's good. I don't think he's horrible. But he isn't. His skill isn't scheming up a run game, which can be a bit of an issue. The run game is just Jahmyr Gibbs make a play. And part of that is the offensive line isn't very good. Excuse me. It's been a long day. When Alabama was beating teams, and I was listening to a thing this week, and what's the issue with Alabama? Why can't they dominate teams on the road? They don't have the offensive line they used to, especially in like 2020, which isn't that long ago. The offensive line is merely good. It's not dominant. And so it's harder to make a run game. That doesn't matter sometimes. You have to be able to scheme it And Bill O'Brien's scheming a run game just hasn't been there. Last year it wasn't there, obviously. I mean, we talked about last year's run game a bit last week. Brian Robinson, out of all the Alabama running backs for the last decade or so, even longer, maybe going back to like Glenn Coffey, he's looked the worst. He looked the worst in college, but he's starting NFL games. So clearly he's very talented. I don't think he's very good at scheming a run game. We'll see how he does without Bryce Young, because that'll be when Ty takes over next year. But when you guys talk about Bill O'Brien and you're bringing up concerns, I'm there with you. I don't think he's horrible. I keep saying, oh my God. I don't think he's horrible, but I think he lacks creativity in the run game. And he keeps wanting to stretch the field. Yeah, run play calling is not great. That's what we just talked about. He does have a tendency to want to make. It's almost like he says, "Okay, I have Bryce Young." You don't always have Bryce Young. Ty Simpson might be a great QB, but you don't know how good he's going to be. And so when you have him, you want to use him. I've seen a lot of teams do that. It's like, oh, we have this toy. It's not going to last forever. Let's use it now. I don't think he's horrible. But there's part of his game where he does struggle. Because a lot of you guys are getting on Bill O'Brien tonight, which is fair. The offense did not play well tonight. Only 290 yards of offense.